Hi everybody, and welcome once again to Epic Drunk Fan Fiction. I'm already that wasted. As you all know, it's Valentine's Day, plenty of wine. We're ready to go. I don't know what I'm reading. I know that it's an Avengers fan fiction. It was suggested by my good friend Thomas Lee. I'm very excited to see what happens, and let's just explore this. Let's let it happen. Let's see, this is called Hungry. It's by orphan_account. So let's get going. Tony, what's the next step for this pumpkin cookie recipe? Steve asked politely as he cracked a large, white egg into a small red bowl containing a stick of butter, sugar, and cinnamon. First off, why in the hell are you leaving me in charge of reading the directions of this recipe? We can just make Jarvis do it. And second, why are we making pumpkin cookies of all things? They sound disgusting, Steve. Tony responded sassily as he leaned against the counter and examined the directions closely. I thought this would be good for us, Tony. With all the missions we've been going on lately, I thought it would be nice for us to just relax and make some dessert together. Besides, it's Halloween and there's nothing like festive sweets to start the day off right. The super soldier answered with a smile before pressing a tender kiss to his lover's cheek as he picked up the bowl and began to stir its contents together with a large wooden spoon. Fine, I get it. Making cookies in the early hours in the morning because I can't sleep and you want to spend time with me is all fine and dandy, but I want to feel more useful than just holding a fucking sheet of paper and telling you what to do. I need to be a little bit more hands-on on this. Cap, if you know what I mean, the genius replied with a smirk as he moved from the counter, got behind Steve, and teasingly grabbed the larger man's pecs and squeezed them as if they were a woman's breast. You see what I do for you people? It's intense. Tony, you know I don't like it when you do... Whoops! Steve exclaimed as he lost his grip on the bowl, causing the not yet blended mixture to spill all over himself and into the floor. You're so clumsy, you know that? Let me get you to, the genius began to say, but he forgot how to form words when he turned Steve around and saw the mess. The egg, sugar, and butter mixture was plastered all over Steve. It covered the front of his baby blue t-shirt. The gooey, runny egg yolk ran down and stopped at the crotch of his blue and white striped pajama bottoms, and a little bit of the mixture flew up onto the blonde's lower lip and chin. Tony's cock sprung to full attention at the sight of his lover covered in the sticky, sugary mess, and he panicked. Here's the towel, Steve. I'm going to go to my lab for a little bit, but you just gave me the best idea. Just get yourself cleaned up and let me know when you're done. And if we can continue this little bonding experience, the genius said quickly as he grabbed a hand towel from the top drawer on the counter, threw it to Steve, and rushed out of the room before the blonde even knew what was going on. I feel like I'm running out of room reading these sentences. Like, they're good, but Jesus, they're run on. It's terrible. You really have to go to your lab now? Are you kidding me? The blonde exclaimed in frustration as he wiped at the mess from his shirt. But Tony didn't hear him. He was already in the elevator, heading down to his lab. I feel like this needs drink. By the way, tonight's drink is a Merlot, provided by my husband, because it's Valentine's Day, and love, and bullshit. Explore the love. You really have to go to your lab now? Are you kidding me? The blonde exclaimed in frustration as he wiped at the mess from his shirt. Tony didn't hear him. He was already in the elevator, heading down to his lab. Fuck! I thought I was over this by now. What's gotten into me? Shit, I've worked on this for years, and it didn't make one hell of a difference. God, why does he have to look so fucking good when he's covered like that? It makes me think about how good I'd look if it was pieces of me on his... No, I will not think about him like that. I beat this thing and it's over. There's nothing appealing about that image. Not at all, Tony tried to convince himself. But his right hand unconsciously pulled his black pajama pants down, released his cock from its cotton prison, and stroked it at a fast, unsteady pace. This is getting really hot all of a sudden, like...
Subconsciously.
Subconsciously, he's like ready to stroke his dick, he's ready to go?
Well, he ain't even ready, he's like, hey, my right hand is whacking me off without me thinking about it.
Sounds like you in the middle of bedtime. Before the thick, shiny metal doors of the elevator opened, the genius came harder than he had when Steve fucked his convincingly lifeless body during their Satisfy Steve's necrophilia fetish days. I don't know how to feel about this.
Drink.
The brunette's semen spurted out of his dick and onto the cold metal. But before he could wipe it away, the doors opened. Tony slowly pulled his pants up over his oversensitive post-orgasm member and walked out of the elevator and swiped the sweat away from his brow. He entered a code onto a keypad, did a facial recognition scan, and was granted access to his lab. Tony, being frustrated and ashamed with himself for his lack of resolve, sat down on a black stool next to his workbench and put his head in his strong, calloused hands, praying that his desire would pass. I hope Tony's okay. It's not like him to walk away like that. Who am I kidding? Of course that's normal Stark behavior. Heck, sometimes when we're making love he gets some crazy, harebrained idea for new invention and just gets up and goes off to his lab. But he seemed like he was in shock. Maybe I did something wrong. Then again, he might actually be working on something. This is the perfect time to ask Jarvis what Tony's doing. It'll get him back for looking through my internet history and finding out about my necrophilia fetish. Necrophilia fetish? Who has this fetish? They're dead! Rest in peace! Rest in peace. Okay, sorry. Tony's doing. I'll get back to him for looking through my internet history and finding out about my necrophilia fetish, Steve thought to himself as he put on a clean, freshly laundered white t-shirt and tossed the food-covered blue shirt in the hanger next to their closet in the bedroom. I'm gonna have to take a drink. This is ridiculous. Jarvis, can you give me a video feed of Tony in his lab? I want to know what he's up to. Stalker behavior, Steve asked kindly as he swiftly removed his egg-stained pajama bottoms. Captain Rogers, I do not think that it is acceptable to spy on him. If you want to know what he is doing, I suggest that you go and talk to him. That's a novel concept. Communicate. It's important. If you want the penis or you want the vagina, hey, you gotta communicate. You can't just fucking stalk each other. It doesn't work that way. Continuing. Jarvis, can you give me a video feed of Tony in his lab? I want to know what he's up to, Steve asked kindly as he swiftly removed his egg-stained... If you've cummed in your pants, you pull them off and you put on some new pants. That's disgusting! I've lived with him for 5 years and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it.
This is the butter and flour and sugar. You spilled the egg stain.
Captain Rogers, I do not think that it is acceptable to spy on him. Consent. If you want to know what he's doing, I suggest that you go and talk to him, Jarvis responded, sounding almost chiding in his reply. I don't care if it's a robot. If you're stalking, you're being a little bitch. You allowed him to look through my browsing history on Mozilla. Who uses Firefox anymore? So I think it's only fair that you help me get even. Now please, do what I asked and send it to my Stark phone. Let's see, we've got Verizon, US Cellular, and now all of a sudden we got Stark phone? You allowed him to look through my browsing history on Mozilla, so I think it's only fair that you help me get even. Now, please do what I asked and send it to my Stark phone, the blonde commanded as he put on a pair of great sweatpants before walking over to the brushed metal nightstand to pick up his smartphone. Yes, sir. After this, I will no longer be assisting you or Mr. Stark in looking through each other's private information, Jarvis answered before sending a live stream of Tony in his lap to Steve's phone. A computer that recognizes that spying on each other does not a good relationship make. The blonde stared at the screen, completely wide-eyed as he watched his fiancée masturbating feverishly on his workbench stool. He was watching something on his Stark tablet. I need a Sheila tablet. All the porn that Sheila likes need to be on this tablet. Okay, sorry. He was watching something on his Stark tablet, though Steve could not make out what it was. Jarvis, zoom in for me, please. Zoom in on his dick and his hand. Masturbating furiously. There's nothing more beautiful nothing more boring than a man masturbating. I don't even know where I am. Jarvis, zoom in for me, please, Steve directed and watched as the video on Tony's tablet became clearer and clearer and suddenly covered in cum. I will continue. Good Lord, what is that? I've never seen that before. I guess you really can find anything on the internet. Rule 34, look it up. Why didn't he tell me about this? I don't even understand what I'm looking at right now. Tony's really into this. What do I make of this? Am I not good enough for him anymore? Steve pondered as he watched the strange video, completely baffled by this genius' odd preference. Sir, may I suggest that you return the favor? I have compiled the definition and the supplies that you will need to make Tony feel comfortable with his sexual deviancy. Deviancy! It's not a deviancy unless you masturbate in the elevators. Sir, may I suggest that you return the favor? I have compiled the definition and the supplies you will need to make Tony feel comfortable with his sexual deviancy, Jarvis stated plainly, as he replaced the live stream of the genius with a makeshift instruction manual of the genius fetish. Einstein probably had this fetish. TheGeniusFetish.com. Look it up, tell me if it's real. I don't know how I feel about this, Jarvis. This seems a little too strange, and I'd need some time to process what I just saw. I honestly don't think I could go through with this, even if I tried, the blonde groaned as he carefully read the detailed description of his lover's secret turn-on. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to find out what happens, you're just going to have to stay tuned for part 2. What happens? What is Iron Man's secret fetish? Like, subscribe, add me on Facebook, and enjoy more epic drunk fiction. Thank you so much.